In this video, I will provide a detailed guide on how to tackle post-construction cleaning, including the tools needed, some of the methods that you will use, and the challenges that you will need to overcome. Post-construction cleaning is a highly lucrative service that you can add to your company offerings or specialize entirely. In the past 30 years of doing business, we have cleaned millions of square feet of newly constructed buildings and learned a thing or two about what to do and what not to do. Cleaning is cleaning, but in the realm of construction cleaning, it is cleaning on steroids. The challenges are not exclusively in the area of cleaning, but also in organization and communication with construction managers, trades, and subcontractors. Stay tuned. We're going to dive deep. Construction cleaning is not just about the cleaning. You have entered an active construction site, which means that you will be working alongside trades that are also trying to complete their work on time to avoid penalties or payment delays. The timing for you to start the job will likely overlap with punch list walks and trades finalizing their work. This is not a perfect situation and is fraught with challenges. When the construction manager tells you they are ready for you to start cleaning, likely with an unrealistic completion schedule, you will need to schedule a meeting on site to review the current condition. This may mean the same day of the request, but you must walk the areas before bringing your staff on site. You are looking for trade activity, incomplete areas, trash, or debris, and establishing expectations for cleaning areas. The CM or construction manager needs to agree on the areas that you will start in and agree on the process to close out rooms or areas following your cleaning. This can't be overstated. You need to have a process for cleaning rooms, closing rooms, and getting approval of the final cleaning with the construction manager. We create lockout forms that are signed by both the cleaning manager and the CM. They are then posted on the doors where all trades can see the room is cleaned and locked out. The posting states that the room is clean and all trade work must clean up after themselves or be subject to chargeback. This posting and process need to be approved by the CM. They will appreciate the process, so don't be afraid to push this. Out of all the tips, this one is the most important. We have lost tens of thousands of dollars on a project because we went back over and over again cleaning after trades. Don't make the same mistake. Bringing your staff in now will allow you to minimize downtime and get them to work right away. Time is money. Many of the same tools that you use for standard cleaning will be needed, but in abundance. That's right, you're going to be using a lot more chemical and towels, and your equipment will be taking a beating because you're going to be working around construction materials. You want to avoid equipment like upright vacuums, household tools of any kind, and consumer-based chemicals. You need power and durability. The must-have tools and equipment you need include a backpack vacuum, lots and lots of razor blades, abundance of towels, buckets for soaking towels and chemicals for cleaning soiled areas, Easy Trap dusting cloths or a similar product, microfiber towels, magic erasers, high dusting poles and tools, ladders, floor machines, wet-dry vacuums, likely an auto scrubber, and a full window cleaning equipment set. Yes, this is a lot of equipment and tools. Trust me when I say we have done it without investing in commercial equipment. We have tried to cut corners, and it ended up costing us a lot more in labor costs. Not only in the cleaning process, but in the trips back and forth to the Home Depot or Lowe's, getting more towels, crappy equipment replacements, and the overall discontent of the employees having to work with, well, the latter. Invest in the best equipment and maintain it because you're going to beat it up while you're cleaning. Cleaning is cleaning except when it is more than cleaning. Most of your staff will have cleaning experience, but not construction cleaning experience. Removing a handprint, for example, from a wall, that's easy, but removing construction dust and drywall mud, it's not. All the areas that you will be cleaning are going to be coated in a thick layer of dust, so the removal of this dust can take a long time or forever. And the best process is to remove as much dust from the surface before you add water and any chemical. This process is best completed with an Easy Trap dusting towel, followed by a damp neutral cleaner soaked towel. The Easy Trap will capture the dust without making it airborne. You will go through a lot of this product, and it is expensive, so don't waste it. After all of the loose dust has been removed from the surface, you can start cleaning the surface with a soaked towel, removing the soiled dirt. This is going to remove the packed dirt, but may not remove all the mud mud, the paint overspray, or the stickers. Now we get into the actual detail cleaning portion of the process. Mud removal, it's easy. Just let your cleaning solution soak on it for about 10 minutes. It's going to break down, and then you can remove it once it liquefies. But be careful not to wipe it all over the place. Pick up the mud with a towel, never spread it, and paint splatter or overspray, it's just going to happen. Manufacturer stickers will have to be removed, whether mullions, glass, or fixtures. You have to take real care in how it is removed. Greg will be making videos on this soon. Stay tuned. After the second and third pass, you can finalize the cleaning of the surfaces. Use your standard cleaning chemicals to clean and polish surfaces. Vacuuming and floor care are also important. The first pass is the removal of large items from the area. You may have to use a sweeping compound to remove large amounts of dust and debris. This process should happen in tandem with the first pass of the dusting process. You need to avoid kicking up dust, voiding the efforts of the dusting process. The use of a HEPA backpack vacuum will help with this. Be aware that your vacuum will need to be emptied and filters cleaned and washed regularly. We have blown up more than one vacuum at sites like these. After you remove all of the trash, debris, and initial soil from flooring surfaces, you will see a lot of staining, drywall mud, paint, etc. This is why we have floor machines. Mops are not going to touch this. Fully scrub flooring with appropriate pads and remove all of the construction materials. Apply finishes as described in your scope. These trades are the last ones in, and they are cutting into drywall, leaving a layer of dust on the carpet. Vacuuming will not remove all of it. Have a spot cleaning tool with you to extract these areas. As you can see, there's a lot to cover with post-construction cleaning. Needless to say, there just isn't enough time on one YouTube video to review all of the best methods. We would love to hear from you on what you want us to cover on the methods of construction cleaning. Leave your requests of things you want to know and methods you want us to cover in the comments section below. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.